All right, last one. So the final problem about the pattern, just I think all of the patterns are going to be growing. I don't think there's anything that's going to be shrinking. So figure 2 to figure 3 gets bigger. Figure 3 to figure 4 gets bigger. And you just kind of have to figure out where it's getting bigger. Now, it doesn't look like it's getting taller at all. So that's one thing you can notice, right? It's always the same height, excuse me. It's always the same height. But what is not the same is its length, right? Or its width. It's getting wider for sure. So think about how it's getting wider. How many are you adding? Are you getting wider to both the left and to the right? And it sure looks that way, right? I mean, just look across. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's actually getting wider 2 every time. But I guess the question is just where are you adding that? And if you look, the height is always 3, and that 3 looks like it's there every time, right? So 1 here, here. So what's happening on either side? Well, it looks like you had 1 here, and then 2. And then here you have on this side of that 3, that stack of 3, you have 2, and then it's 3 wide. Here it's 3, and then 4. Right? And I really don't see any other way to think about it but to say there's that 3 that kind of cuts it in the middle, sort of in the middle, obviously not exactly in the middle. And then you're adding a row on the left and to the right. Now, those rows look different, and I'm going to let you go with that. But, I'll draw figure 5 for you. You can think about figure 1. There's obviously a 3. Obviously a 3. Let me see if I can make that a little bit. There we go. 3. That cuts it in half. And then on one side, it went 1, 2, 3. So on here it should be 4. All right. And then it was 2, 3, 4, so 5. Now these rows look a little different, right? All right. So it looks something like that. So use that. Now, when you go to explain, I'm not going to write this for you, but explain, that's what you need to do. You need to say, okay, there's 3, a stack of 3 that's always in the middle. And then there's, sorry, something in my room. There's always a couple on each side, and it depends on the figure number, right? So it's always adding 1 on the left, 1 row on the left, 1 row on the right. The ones on the right have however many, and the ones on the left have however many, okay? So when you go to explain it, you have to, cover every section. I have it in 1, 2, 3 sections. Just tell me about every section, okay? How many times will figure 8 have? How do you know? I'm going to let you figure that out. If you're following that pattern, how many tiles will it have? Maybe draw a diagram, right? For figure 8 and think about, okay, how many are here? How many would be here? And then how many would be here, knowing that this row has a little bit more. Okay. And then D, wanted to mention, how wide will figure 5 be? This does not say, sorry, I missed something. Make sure you say, how do you know? Make sure you explain how you know. But for the width, it's how wide it is. Don't tell me how many tiles are in figure 52. Tell me how wide it is, okay? And so that means you're going to count across. So, like, for example, figure 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Figure 5 is 10 wide, right? Figure 5 is 10 wide. So it's not how many tiles. It's not how many, it's how wide. Okay, so just make sure when you get 52 all lined up, again, maybe make a diagram, okay? But just think about how wide it is. as you go from section to section, right? So you'll tell me, this section has, this section has how many. Sure, you'll know how many this way, but you only want how many this way. Same thing here. Okay. My suggestion to you would be use the figure number as a reference, right? So figure 4, on each side, you got a 3 and a 4. So it's always the figure number and the figure number minus 1, right? So here, for figure 5, then, it would be 5 across here and 4 across here. So for figure 8, it would be 8 across here and 7 across here, right? And then obviously this is 1 across with 3 tiles. And this is 8 by 2. So don't forget that that's a by 2. All right, and then you can count up your tiles, add them up for figure 8, and tell me in some words, how do you know? Just say, I use the figure number to do this. I know this is this tall, and so on and so forth, okay? Same thing here, but just remember, you're looking at how wide it is. It doesn't matter that this is 2 tall and that this would be 3 tall. You're only looking across the bottom, all right? All right, everybody, take care.